Hi YouTube, this is Rose, and this video is psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissistic personality disorder. Are you wondering if you're living with one or do you have one in your life? This video is for those who want to understand who and what they may be dealing with. We're going to look at some of the characteristics and traits and some of the differences and some of the other personality type disorders. We're living in a time that we have been warned that people will be lovers of themselves. This is just getting out of control. So I hope this video bless you. I really appreciate your time. Please comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit the like button to support my channel. I appreciate it, and let's get started. Okay, I will now be reading from an article on WebMD. Sociopath versus a psychopath. What is the difference? You may have heard people call some else a psychopath or a sociopath, but what do those words really mean? You won't find the definition in Mental Health's official handbook, the Diagnosis and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Doctors don't officially diagnose people as psychopaths or sociopaths. They use different terms instead. Antisocial personality disorder, which we will be looking into as well. Most experts believe psychopaths and sociopaths share a similar set of traits. People like this have a poor inner sense of right and wrong. They also can't seem to understand or share another person's feelings, but there are some differences too. Do they have a consciousness? A key difference between a psychopath and a sociopath is whether he has a consciousness. The little voice inside that lets us know we're doing something wrong, says L. Michael Thompson, ED doctor. He's a psychologist at the Sacramento County Mental Health Department Treatment Center. A psychopath doesn't have any conscience. If he lies to you so he can steal your money, he won't feel any moral qualms, though he may pretend to. He may observe others and then act the way they do, so he's not found out, which I'm sure many people have seen in their lives. A sociopath typically has a consciousness, but it's weak. He may know that taking your money is wrong, and he might feel some guilt or remorse, but that won't stop his behavior. But both lack empathy, the ability to stand in someone else's shoes, and understanding how they feel. But a psychopath has less regards for others, says Aaron Kimpris, PhD, author of Midas Complex. Someone with this personality type sees others as objects he can use for his own benefit. They're not always violent. In movies and TV shows, psychopaths and sociopaths are usually the villains who kill or torture innocent people. In real life, some people with antisocial personality disorder can be violent, but most are not. Instead, they use manipulation and reckless behavior to get what they want. At worst, they're cold, calculating killers, Kipnis says. Others, he says, are skilled at climbing their way up to corporate ladder. Even if they have to hurt someone to get there. If you recognize some of these traits in a family member or co-worker, you may be tempted to think you're living or working with a psychopath or a sociopath. But just because a person is mean or selfish, it doesn't necessarily mean he has this disorder. Continuing, cold-hearted psychopath, hot-headed sociopath. It's not easy to spot a psychopath. They can be intelligent, charming, and good at mimicking emotion. They may pretend to be interested in you, but in reality, they probably don't care. They're skilled actors whose sole mission is to manipulate people for personal gain. Sociopaths are less able to play along. They make it plain that they're not interested in anyone but themselves. They often blame others and have excuses for their behavior. Some experts see sociopaths as hot-headed. They act without thinking how others will be affected. Psychopaths are more cold-hearted and calculating. They carefully plot their moves and use aggression in planned-out ways to get what they want. If they're after more money or status in an office, for example, they make a plan to take out any barrier that stands in the way, if it's another person's job or reputation. Brain differences. Recent research suggests a psychopath's brain is not like any other people's. It may have physical differences that can make it hard for a person to identify with someone else's distress. The differences can even change basic body functions. For example, when most people see blood or violence in a movie, their hearts beat faster, their breathing quickens, and their palms get sweaty. A psychopath has opposite reaction. He gets calmer. Kipnis says that quality helps psychopaths be fearless and engage in risky behavior. They don't fear the consequence of their actions. This is 4 Signs of a Narcissist by Leslie Becker Phelps, and I will be leaving the link for this as well. Everyone likes being close to people who are or seem to be shining successes. They have a glow around them that draws you in, but though being around them might initially make you feel special, you may ultimately end up feeling inadequate if that shiny star you hooked yourself to is a narcissist. Narcissists are often intent on proving their superiority, which often leaves those around them to question themselves. How do you know if you are in the presence of a narcissist? Here are 4 signs to look for. They are driven, often unconsciously, to see themselves as being judged positively by others. Narcissists talk on and on, showing how brilliant they think they are. They are unaware and don't care how grandiose or self-important they may appear, whether or not they have actually demonstrated any superiority or made any significant achievements. Remember that. They expect to be recognized as superior and admired. They are preoccupied with fantasies of being incredibly successful. However, narcissists can also have an excessively exaggerated belief that their imperfections are worse than those of others. When a failure or weakness of theirs is exposed, they feel fatally flawed. Because the approval of others is so important to them, they set their goals with an eye toward achieving approval. Their sense of superiority often motivates them to set personal standards unrealistically high, yet they also hold very low standards based on the sense of entitlement. For instance, they might expect to win a Nobel Peace Prize in their future career, but also expect their landlord to allow them to slide on the rent because they are destined to greatness. They lack empathy, and their relationships are superficial. Narcissists are highly motivated to meet their own need for approval. They don't empathize with or recognize the needs of others. Instead, they focus on how relationships can help them feel better. You will find a narcissist enjoys on having an audience to listen to their mushing, having a little interest in listening, while also having little interest in listening to others' thoughts. And while they might want a sympathetic ear during difficult times, they are unlikely to view the difficulties of you or others as concerns. They are agnostic because they feel superior to other people. Narcissists are condescending to others. They feel entitled to special treatment and can be exploitive to achieve their own desires. This style of interacting, either directly or indirectly, tells you that they are tells you that you are unimportant and not as good as the narcissist. Their bad behavior is not short-lived. They have a pattern of behavior in various content in their adult lives. It's not a phase such as you might see during adolescence. When you notice the signs of a narcissist in someone, don't be surprised if you are uncomfortable or feel demeaned or inadequate in your relationship with them. You might still choose to work with them or remain friends, but you would do well to recognize the limits of the relationship. Okay, folks, thank you so much. I pray this bless you, and peace be with you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.